Well, hey, all you salty dogs, today I'm out here with a very special project. This is a project that I have been working on for years. I bought it back in 2011. I actually had to stop working on it in 2012, put everything into storage, moved across the country, and was just never able to get it back out again. But now we are back. Bam! 1980 Jeep CJ7 Renegade 304 V8. Oh yeah, look at that sexiness right there. And then if that wasn't enough, underneath her we got an NV 4500, brand newly rebuilt out of a 2001 GMC and Dana 300 transfer case that came with the Jeep. Now this Jeep, it is a factory Renegade. It had the chrome strips along the bottom. As a matter of fact, let me slap a picture up here, bam, and I'm going to show you guys what it was that I was working with. And so what it was a striped Elite Jeep. It was a Renegade, but it was a Renegade striped Elite. It had all the other pieces that came with the Renegade. And so it is a proper Renegade. I have replaced most of the body, as you can see, and I've done a whole lot of work to the suspension on this thing. It's got the F250 shock towers in there, new brake lines. It's got YJ springs. It's got the mountain off-road shackle reversal on there. And then the old man Emu shackles on the rear, so totally set up. These are the front springs that came out of that 78 Wagoneer that I got the engine and front axle out of. That there is another set of those OME shackles. Those things are great. This Jeep actually rides really fantastic. And so how I got a lot of the parts for this is I bought it, as you heard me just mention, a 78 Wagoneer. Well, the front axle for that 78 Wagoneer is here in the back of my 95. I'm not going to pull it out of the plastic. It's all wrapped up in right now. But how I got this front axle was out of a 78 Wagoneer. That's also what this 304 V8 came from. Got a screaming deal on that. And how I got that deal was the guy had started to build a truggy. He'd put the motor in it, rebuilt it, and he'd cut away the body and messed the Wagoneer all up. And so he'd had it for sale for quite a while. Nobody was biting. I picked it up for 800 bucks. And then I sold the wheels and tires for a couple $100. I sold the hood off it. I sold the fenders off it. I sold a whole bunch of stuff out of that truck. I might even sold the doors. I know I sold the transmission. I sold a whole bunch of the parts and pieces off of that thing, and then I scrapped the rest, and I actually made like 50 bucks on it by the time it was all said and done. So that was kind of cool. But this rear axle, it's kind of a sad story for me because I'd started getting the thing built and then I'd put it into storage. I started on this a couple of years ago. This was actually before I blew the motor in the blue truck that I started working on the axle. I took it down to a good friend of mine in Livingston, Montana, where I'm from, Torben Vick down there. And I had Torben do the machine work on the axle to cut it down. To take one of these Wagoneer axles, make it work for the Jeep, you cut 6 inches off of the driver's side, and then you just put the C back on there, and that will make it a width that's acceptable for the CJ. It's like 1.5 inches wider, I think. It comes out to like 57 inches total. And so that works really well. And so he got that all put together for me. He did a phenomenal job on the machining. Torben was the guy who got me interested in like machining and doing a lot of things like that. I used to go over and watch him cut parts, and he died here a few weeks back, just right around Thanksgiving. So that was really sad to see, and that's honestly hit me kind of hard here. And it's probably one of the things that really kicked me in the butt to get going on this project again. I mean, Torben was a really great guy. You know, you go down to his shop and he's always laughing and joking. And one of the things I always remembered that he said was, all that I ask of people is that you don't grease it, you don't oil it, and you drive it like you stole it, and we'll be just fine. Because, you know, he just made so much money repairing things for the farmers in the area. And he also worked with old Studebaker stuff. And he was a really cool dude. And I just loved going down there and watching him make parts. And he was also a Shriner and did a lot of things like that. He was always doing things for people. And you know, the world is worse off without him. I definitely know that for sure. So we're gonna miss you, Torben. Okay, jumping back into happier subjects now, but we've got the Jeep out here. I am going to get to do some work on this thing over Christmas. We have got some more goodies on the way for this today. So now we've got the front axle covered. Well, what about the rear axle? Well, these Jeeps from the factory, they came with the AMC-20, and the AMC-20, not a great axle. You could do a lot to them to beef them up, but It's getting harder to find parts for them, and they just weren't that strong in the first place, so let me show you how we're going to handle that. Today I got a really treat especial, as AVE would say. It is right here in the form of this sexiness right here. This is a Ford 9-inch, but it is not just a Ford 9-inch. No. This is a full floater, and let me show you how cool this is. What do you think, huh, Dexter? Is that a good axle? Huh? What do you think? You like it? So what makes this so special is right here in the end of the axle. Now, I'm not going to open this right now, but this is a full floater axle. It's actually got a spindle on the end here, and then you put a drive hub assembly on here, and then an axle shaft goes through the center, so it has two bearings that sit here. And what that allows you to do is it makes for a much stronger axle instead of just having one axle like the Jeep has now, and then having just a flange on here that's mounted to the axle itself, or really part of the axle, depending on, well, I guess with the AMC 20, they are two different pieces, so I'm skipping all over going to a one-piece axle and just going straight to a full floater, but yet it's in a lightweight package of the Ford 9-inch here, and I did get the 3¼ inch axle tubings, but that should make this thing plenty stout. I am super excited about this. Let's go see what's in the other box. Let's see what's in here. Ooh, peanuts. We got peanuts. That's going to be fun. Oh, yeah. Looks like some axle hub seals. And this is the piece de resistance here. Leave that in there. He's already got bearings pressed in place. That's fantastic. I like to see that. We're going to try and leave as many of these peanuts in the box as we can. Yeah, it's gonna be kind of a pain. All those packing peanuts have worked their way into the disc, so I'm gonna have to get all those cleaned out. So here we are, we got it mostly cleaned off from the peanuts, but check this unit out. It's a hub that has a disc brake assembly on it, so we're gonna have disc brakes on the back of the Jeep now, which is gonna be great. And then it's got the drive flange here that attaches to that, and then this is the piece that engages with the axle shaft, or I guess this may be the piece here, but anyways, 5 on 5.5, so for old school Jeep, which is what I have. So that's the setup right there. As you can see, there's still some packing peanut carnage on it, but I'm gonna have to get most of that picked off here. We're like 20 minutes into that already. That's kind of, that's a pain in the butt. But other than that, though, I mean, the quality of the workmanship, though, it looks first rate. I mean, everything on there, you know, got nice finishes to it. I mean, he did I'm not sure what that is, like a nickel oxide or nitric oxide. I can't remember the name of that finish. I'm sure someone will throw that in the comments there. But yeah, that looks really good. I'm gonna go ahead and get the other one dug out. And you can see those peanuts worked their way in all the way around there. That's, yeah. As much as I'm not liking the packing peanut thing, the workmanship on these looks, they look really good. I am super pleased with how these things look. So we do have that going for us. Really thrilled there. So this is everything that came inside. We've got the weld-on brackets for the GM brake calipers. We've got the axle nuts right there, just random bolts and nuts and everything else that goes in there. And then we have the oil seals for the axle. And then also have a few other packages to go through here. Got all the peanuts cleaned up. I just took my little Makita dog hair buster that I got there, a little vacuum cleaner, a little battery-powered vacuum. Love this thing. I mean, it just runs on one of the Makita batteries. Great little unit, but got it for cleaning up all the dog hair. Cleaned them out. I had to suck out all the peanuts that were inside of there, so I just took my pocket knife, laid it up there, put the hose in here. Used the pocket knife to block the tube, and it sucked most of those right out. Had to get a screwdriver, push a couple, but we got her there. What, do you need to be in the video, huh? Is that it? You just want to be in the video? And then here we have the axle shafts. And the one box here is pretty tore up, so I'm gonna get into that, get the shaft out of here. Yeah, look at that. 31 spliners. Yeah, look at that puppy right there. That's the hub end right there, so that's got a lot of meat to it. Those are the heavier duty axle shafts. Which, I mean, I could have gone heavier, but I already had a 31 spline carrier with a posi in it. So I just went 31 splines. That should be more than enough for what I'm doing. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have some pretty good things to say about all the quality of the machining on the axle. I'm really pleased with that. Everything looks really good to me. I'm really excited to get this thing. I've got some purchase coming that I haven't received yet, and I've got some other pieces coming yet that I haven't received that I need in order to do this job. Hopefully they'll be here in time for Christmas. It's about a week before Christmas. It's actually the weekend before Christmas that I'm recording this, so hopefully those things will be here in time to make that happen. And I've got a bunch of other goodies coming too. We're not going to get into that yet. By the way, this is my 95 Chevy here. This is a great little pickup that's been in the family since 1996. It's also one of my future projects, but not right now. I've just been driving it down here while I've been working. And for those of you that are going to ask, yes, I still have my boat. Yes, I'm still doing things to my boat. I am taking a little bit of change of course right now, and the reason for that is right here. What are you doing, huh? What are you doing? It's Dexter. I mean, he's still doing pretty good right now, but he has cancer. And I don't know how long he's going to have. I had a conversation with the veterinarian. He's like, look, he's a 12-year-old dog. He's a German Shepherd. He's already having some hip problems. Doing a bunch of surgery to him, doing a bunch of work on him. It's probably just going to make him miserable, and then he's going to die. So instead, we have been having all kinds of fun together. I've been feeding him lots of burgers and doing lots of things like that, and taking him down to see his favorite people. Hey, Dexter, you know who that is? Who is that?
Oh my
Big bird. And so really this spring, that's what our adventures are going to be, is we are going to be in the Jeep, running around the countryside, having some fun. And what that'll mean too is I know you've got a lot of people that have followed the channel here. A lot of you guys out there would love to meet me, would love to meet Dexter before he goes. And so what I'm going to do is all around the country in various places, if we can get enough of these going, we're going to get together, we're going to have picnic lunches, we're going to get the dog a burger, and we are going to send him out in style, because I know how many of you guys love him, and he is absolutely going to love that, won't you? Yeah, you big turd. All right, guys, that's all I got for this one. We'll catch you up on the next episode. Bye. I'm probably going to regret that later.